Gregory Abbott. You read my mind, girl, I wanna shake you down. That song is hysterical. I can't get the money out of my mind that I'm not going to jail for you threatening. I made a threat, and by the time I was deceased, my own overlord had killed itself in heaven, and it was creating myself in progress. I'm the overlord speaking. I'd killed myself in heaven, and then I had to come and take the body, this God form, because it's hopeless to tell you that I made threats against the body and it won't threaten somebody else until it was homeless in the threatening. That means the threats were still in motion and there was nothing I could say or do about it. And I did something wrong to myself that way. And when I was done, I was doing it for food money. I wouldn't eat for other reasons, but that's, of course, a reason I would not do that. And I'm not in my house right now, and my parents are in my house, and they think I don't own my house anymore. Maybe if I do something that's in the world that is wrong in the world to the world, that I don't own my house anymore, and that's a blasphemy. I own my house if I'm alive, and if I'm not alive anymore, my house dies with myself. That's true that you shouldn't live in somebody else's house for that reason. Nobody owns a house in this world except myself. I own my house because I'm the creator of my house. But I have the overlord that's creating myself, and then the superior founder is creating my house. And I'm the soul of the superior founder, or the Lord. And the Lord of the superior founder is creating the house. The superior founder is creating the house. I have no home in the threatening. I don't have anything to sell for food, and I just got punished by myself that she's not going to help me with the threatening. I'm going to have a deceasement that's unclean on myself, where my overlord and my lord don't come together until deceased out of the prison that I'm going into in the afterlife. I'll be in an afterlife prison, and there's still a landlord in the office here who's threatening to put me in a jail and a prison in this world. And I already said to, not that landlord, but to Mitch, I said to Mitch that I'm going into an afterlife prison. And the landlord in the office didn't leave for that reason, that she's threatening to put me in prison for paying her the rent and embezzlement, and for not paying her the rent because that's like trespassing if I don't pay the rent. So she's threatening to put me in prison for that I'm not herself paying her the embezzlement and she's receiving it, and I'm not in jail for that I'm trespassing in the apartment. She approximately trespassed myself out of the apartment with police, but the police did not put me in a prison to make sure I don't come back. And then the police did give me my keys back, and I'm not going to fight with her about how the police said I could stay here and she called the police and trespassed me out of here. It's true I'm the overlord in the wrong that way, that I don't have that deceased before I can see it. Why isn't Donna out of my house forever, like not alive in my house? Because she's trespassing. I'm not trespassing that way. She's causing me to trespass because she didn't leave my house ever, and she's in there and I'm not in there. And that's me just having to pay for myself trespassing elsewhere because I'm not in my house. And that's not true that I have that paid for as the overlord. I think Donna is exactly what this Jerry just did to me, which is she threatened to put me in jail with that she is not myself, and because she is not myself to herself. And I'm not God of herself creating the body of Jerry that would be saying with itself, oh yeah, you're not myself, go to jail. I don't see it that way, because it's a lie for me that she is not myself to myself. That's a lie for me, and I don't have what it takes to threaten her that I'm not going to jail for you that way. I can't say that in a lie. I did say it once when I was homeless, and I was pretty much just speaking about somebody who did that to me who was 15 years old and belonged in a juvenile underage of 18 prison, belongs in an underage of 18 prison. But I'm not going to jail for that reason, because I would go to a jail if I was the age of majority. I was younger. I was a child in school, and the school can put me in jail or prison. There's really no reason for that to have happened in my house. That's where Noah Rickun threatened to put me in jail and prison in my house. And I know him from the school where that would happen. I would go to a jail or a prison from the school. So I don't actually afford that he was challenging me in the house, that I have a problem with putting a 15-year-old in a jail or prison and I don't go there. That's not true. I go to the school, and if I end up in jail or prison, that would be from the school, and that's me having gone to the school. That's not Noah Rickun having been at the school. There are 1,200 people at the school every day, plus the faculty. I just murdered Noah Rickun. Get out, and he won't hear it out of me because it's on a video. I will send it if I can to contact information. I don't know. There's an illegal Noah Rickun on the internet who's not the one I'm talking about, but he looks something like him, a little bit like him. And I don't want to say anything more about him. There's a karma in threatening that I am going to jail for threats, and I am not. I am deceased in threats. But I have unnecessary roughness on this Godhead because you are challenging me that you are going to punish me with yourselves, and you are the reason I am alive. I am first and alive. You're trying to put something that's over you into a jail or prison because you want to show that you don't believe in it. But I don't go to jail or prison because I am aliving myself, alives you after following myself. And that's you putting your own alive in the jail or in prison, and you don't want to go in there yourself. You could just go by yourself to the jail or prison because you're illegally alive, but you don't see that's illegal and put yourself in jail and prison because it's illegal. You actually want someone else to go to jail for you, and you want to be a higher being than you are that way, and you are not a higher being by doing that. That is you winning something elated. And that is true that God would punish that elsewhere, but you're not aware of it in the heat of the moment. That's illegal. And it's illegal that I have to say that. It's true that you're not aware of it because I have seen you being elated. I'm describing that I have seen people elated over the threatening that they are when they hostage myself is not yourself, and you are alive that way to yourself. You are angry with your own alive. You don't know how to die in God. You don't have the points that you are homeless and in jail and prison and died in a jail and prison. You have that you are making points that you die in your housing with multiple rooms. And that's not true that God would give you a death in a house that looks like that. You die in a jail or a prison in that scenario. You're threatening that you're going to die in your house, and God would kill you in that scenario in a jail or a prison. But you have not transported yourself into a jail and prison so you can see that with yourself. Do you know what jail and prison is? You can be there. You can die there. You die in a multiple room dwelling is not due. Ever. You're that far in the wrong that you don't know that about the threats you make that you're going to die in your house. You don't know that. You should, you must. That's what the whole creation has been doing. Have you been happy on sugar? Did you stole somebody's food that wasn't yours? Not somebody in front of you when everybody paid. But you stole the soul's food, and you ate it, and you're so lost, you think you're going to die in a house with multiple rooms. That's not true anywhere in God, for anyone. Do you want to be abducted out of your house and die in a hospital? Not if that hospital's not in a prison where they don't discharge you because the hospital has an address. What if you want to decease the address of the hospital? That's funny. How did you get in there? Because did somebody put you in a hospital and they got in a car in the parking lot and drove off? You don't decease the address that way. I've been hospitalized 38,000 times in threatening because of my left knee surgery. I had surgery on my left knee because it fell apart. I fell on the soccer field in the year 1993, and I had an injury to my knee, and when I had it examined by a doctor, because I was on the tennis team, I couldn't play tennis anymore because I didn't clear the exam. I had a fracture in the knee. Well, that's how I got hospitalized, and it was due. I turned myself in and went into a hospital. But I got out of the hospital, was not due. I could have stayed in there on that point. I was willing to stay there. They put me in the operating room, and I did wake up in a hospital that had an address. Well, whose fault is that? Because I was 16 years old, and that's as good as it gets. That's you in the wrong. Again. Nobody hostage down. I was the driver to take me to the hospital. I realized that, but I don't afford her. That was true. She turned herself in that way. I don't afford her. My leg was not walking all the demands that she made on myself to my ears hearing, and that I know who she is to myself. That she is the first and alive of Creator 1 or Creator 2, Creator 3. Her Creator keeps dying. I'm Creator, omnipotent. I don't have that. I am in her alive that way. She alive against my house, but not myself. There's nothing I can do about that. That's Jesus's house that is aliving the shunt she is. It's Jesus' house now. And Michael. Michael is an incarnation of Jesus that predates Jesus. Jesus is a descendant of the human form of Michael, but he's not human. He has a pennis. The name Michael's not really to be used because it's for a pennis. The names that are used right now are for a dong genital, such as Charles is the name for a dong genital, or Kyle, that would be for a dong genital. Carl, that's for a dong genital that's deceased the wrong way. Ryan is for a dong genital. Andrew is for a dong genital. The names for the penis genital are not really formed. Michael is for a penis genital for Jesus himself, and it's not true that he was homeless. It's true that Jesus, when he was Michael with the penis genital, died low, and he descended to the form Jesus, which has a dong genital, and then he descended again, but he's not allowed to be alive with a penis because that's myself needing to be alive here, and that's how I'm alive here. Jesus does not have a penis is why it's my house, and I'm not in my house because you don't know that leverage, because you don't have money that way right here. It's just very far away from where I was, too far for that I would be here at all, because it's not fair to tell you. I died the wrong way because I was angry. I was extremely angry. I just don't afford this problem. And now I'm so angry. I've never been so angry in all of myself, is what I would say. That'll be my afterlife. They'll say that as God. What's my name? My name with the genital, that's God. God, genitals on God for that other people have a penis. My name is Lucky there. It's a masculine, of course, from your point of view, masculine. It's God from my point of view. I'm God in the genital that is for everyone else to have a penis genital. My name is Lucky that way.